Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Vaxee X Ninjutso Sora 4K wireless mouse. This is my first time trying a mouse from either Vaxee and Ninjutso. This is a collab between the two companies to bring one of the best light mouse together with the high performance mice that Vaxee make. So let's just get into it. First, let's talk about what's in the box. So you're going to get a standard USB-C cable, and then we have a 4K dongle that's right here. And in terms of the box, you just get a basic Ninjutso Vaxee white box, just simple. I think most of the people buying this mouse won't really care about the box, so this is what you're going to get. And also, I want to mention that the stock skates on this mouse, I'll get into them later, but they're very good, and I think most people that buy this mouse aren't going to be buying aftermarket skates like I did, so I do think they should include an extra pack of skates in the box just in case your stock skates eventually wear down. That's just something I wanted to mention. But let's talk about, does this mouse have any issues? So as you can all see, I am using grips. I have used these on other mice, but I specifically had to use these on this mouse because of the coating. So the coating is super smooth. For most people, I think this will actually be a really good coating. But for me, when I have, let's say, my heat on or something, or it's humid, it just gets so slippery. I have to use grips, or like it feels like I'm just touching a mouse that was doused in water. So I have to use grips, and the coating is slippery. But the feeling of the coating is super smooth. So on days where the temperature and weather is good and there's no weird conditions, this does end up being a perfect coating. But some days it is just terrible. So I just wanted to leave that out there for those who might have hand sweating or humidity issues like me. So yeah, but for some people it'll be fine, some bad. But let's get into more of this. So this mouse does support up to 4K wireless polling. I personally did all my testing on 2K, and this has a PAW 3950. In terms of software, so all the controls you can do on the bottom of the mouse, you just hold down the DPI button and change your settings. You can see kind of there's DPI right there, and there's going to be your polling rate and LOD. So they are developing a web software that's coming soon, but a lot of people that do buy Vaxee software have been saying they don't really care about web software. They don't want it. They want to be able to do everything on the mouse, which in my experience, that was fine. My one problem is it's a little hard to remember what colors go for what DPI. So I do think they do put this in the box to download the user manual to give you the instructions how to do it on the mouse. My suggestion for Vaxee is to just on the back of this, just print out what color is what DPI, just to make it simpler. So for someone that might not remember and changes their DPI a lot, can just keep this in their top drawer when they could pull out when they need to switch their DPI. It's just a little detail that would be nice. It's not necessary, but yeah, pretty much. Okay. In terms of clicks, this does use blue shell pink dots, and let me just give you a sound test on them. Scroll wheel, side clicks. So these clicks feel very good. I've used blue shell pink dots on a lot of mice and they feel great. I was playing Minecraft with this mouse, which obviously most people that buy it aren't, and the right click did feel a little annoying at times. It just felt like kind of hollow. Again, most people aren't going to be playing Minecraft, so it's not an issue. On COD, these clicks felt great. I just wanted to mention it. There are no issues with the side clicks, except actually sometimes I would bump my thumb into the side click right here, not enough to press down on it. It just felt a bit annoying. So I do think this side button right here, the back one, is a little too far back. Maybe if they can move this one up a little bit, then move this one, it would be fine, but not a big deal. In terms of the scroll wheel is definitely too small and too low profile. I did get used to it after a day or two, but I feel like some people might not get used to it and might not like this super small scroll wheel. Like my Lamzu Thorn had a similar size scroll wheel, and I never got used to it, even though I did on this mouse. So again, I just want to put that out there. If you want a bigger scroll wheel, this mouse isn't going to be for you. In terms of battery life, the battery life, as you can see right now, it's blinking. It blinks when it's between 61% and 21% one light, and then when it's below, it'll be two lights. I've been using this for almost 2 weeks now, and I only had to charge once, and now I guess it's probably around 50-40%. So I'd say the battery life on this is pretty good. It's way better than the Pulsar Crazy Light I tried before. It's not really a good mouse to compare it to, but again, it's a solid battery life. In terms of performance, the performance just feels great here. I have no issues while gaming. It just feels like top of line performance, like everyone says Vaxee is, and the same thing with the QCM build of this mouse. It just feels top of the line. In terms of weight, this is going to be 60 grams, which the reason they did that is because apparently people didn't like the Sora V2 at 40, so they wanted to make something that felt better weight balance, which this does feel great weight balance. I do think, I personally don't care for 40-gram mice that badly, but I would like to see this just a tad lighter at about 55 grams, because this just feels that little bit heavy. I think it would just feel slightly better at 55 grams, but again, I do think the 60 weight is fine. I'm used to using my Pulsar X2H at like 64, so I don't really have a problem with the weight. I just wish it was a tad lighter, but not down to 40 grams. In terms of shape, I'd say for people who have medium-sized hands and use claw, this is a very safe shape. Your hand just kind of fits into it. If it's a little off for you, it's something you get used to. It's not going to have as aggressive as a hump as X2H, and the shape feels pretty similar to my Shark X6 Max, Motospeed X6 Max, but it does feel a little different because this is a XM2 clone, and I wouldn't say it feels the same. But again, this is just a very good safe shape for claw grip users. It just has a long click that goes slightly down, and then it has a small hump. So I feel like this will fit a lot of medium-sized hands. And in terms of the game review, I did mention the stock skates. These are not the stock skates. The stock skates were completely fine on cloth and glass. I tested on both. I just personally wanted to switch them out. But you can use the stock skates without having to buy aftermarket skates if you're going for the full Vaxee experience where you just plug in the mouse and then that's it. In terms of pricing, this does come in at $140, which I think after using this mouse, I think it's worth every penny. Yes, $140 is expensive for a mouse, but everything about this mouse is just great. Performance, build quality. Yes, it's not perfect. As I said, the scroll wheel's too short and the coding is not great. But for the person that those issues won't bother them, this is genuinely a perfect mouse. This can be an endgame mouse for a lot of people. Again, it is not perfect, but if you like what I said about this mouse and the issues I mentioned don't bother you, yes, this is probably going to be your endgame mouse, and I can easily recommend it. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to leave it there if you want this mouse, and I will link it below. See you in the next one.